Santos, direto de Tóquio. Hoje vai ser em inglês. Aguarda, galera, que hoje vai ser em inglês com o Kardy Laguda, um cara maravilhoso. Minasan, ohayou gozaimasu. Genki wa mou 6時の朝に起きてるかもしれないので、今日は英語でやりますから、わからなくてもいいねって教えればそれで助かりますから、今日はカルディ・ラグダさん、イギリスのカルディ・ラグダさん来てるから素晴らしいな人なので、ぜひぜひ見てください。Buenos días a todos. Bueno, hoy vamos a hacer el Championstalk en inglés, pero si no entiende, no hay problema. Aperta me gusta para dar su apoyo, porque es muy importante. Hoy tenemos una persona maravillosa, Kardy Laguda, de Inglaterra, persona increíble, conocida en muchos países. Bueno, si no entiende, no hay problema, pero que tenga siempre su soporte, su apoyo para nuestro canal. Muchas gracias. Yeah, guys. Yeah. How are you doing today? How are you doing? Are you being a champion today? Well, you know, I'm very, it's an honor to have this guy, this figure, this star, this funny guy, this charisma, this person that have all my respect. I mean, I know him for many years, and you know, we working our thing, and we didn't catch up, we didn't talk to each other, and then finally got him again, and they're like, oh my God, you're still there, you're still shine, you're still doing. So it's a pleasure to have him there. I mean, the guy, I mean, we're gonna talk about him. You're gonna see how he, I mean, a lot of people know him, but he's the man, he's the guy. Well, for you to have an idea, I mean, I don't think anybody in the world do what he does. He go to the stage shining, you know, he goes to the stage like, I mean, he's original. We're going to talk about that. Before that, we just go for the sponsors, and then that's it. Kardy Laguda is going to be here. Kardy Laguda is in the house. Just a moment. Sponsors, and we go. Welcome, my friend, the man, the star, Kardy Laguda, brother. Welcome. Wow. What a good moment. What a good moment. I got you again. I mean, it's a pleasure. It's an honor to have you here. How are you doing, my friend? How are you doing?
I'm doing absolutely amazing. Fantastic. In fact, that was such a good introduction. I want to give you a round of applause, you know? So yeah, there you go. Thank you, my friend. It was great, man. Everything is great. You know, I'm really impressed with your. And where did you find those pictures? Oh my goodness! I saw some
I
pictures.
mean, yeah.
You've been deep diving in the web, just because I saw some.
Oh yeah. Oh, it was a long journey. It's like, okay, let's go, let's go, let's go. It's freaking long. I mean, there's so much history, and it's not everything there. You know, I tried to get Blackpool ones, was not there because
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, I've got some hidden gems as well. So, you know, if we do this next time, I'll definitely be able to pass you some golden gems for people to see, because those some of the ones that I saw come up, they brought back so many memories. My goodness.
right, yeah. I mean, it's wonderful. We have a big history. I mean, we got here San Francisco. Toshi, nice to meet you, Kardy Laguda.
Hey, Toshi, how are you? Nice to see you.
Great. We have the leader, the guru in fitness, Valdir Soares, the guy who make Brazil be like part of the. I mean, he's the man in Brazil. He's here too. Robertson, the sponsor. People are coming. That's nice. That's nice.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah. It's a pleasure to be here. And let me just tell people how I know him. I went to Japan. I met Jen, my friend, and she invited me to go to Blackpool Convention. And then first time I go, wow, huge place, a lot of people, full. And then that's it. I'm gonna watch some people classes before I do my class, and then this huge stage. I forgot the name, the biggest one. What's the name of the biggest one?
the Empress Ballroom.
I
Empress Ballroom.
think, yeah, the Empress Ballroom. And then went there and then full of people. And then come this guy, cover himself like that, and like, oh, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? And then people, wow, 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 hey, and then he do like that, shining, shine. I mean, really shine. It's something like I got actually some pictures. He was like that, but more than that. I mean, it's really like, okay, what's he's gonna do? And then he's coming like, okay, and put some pictures right now, like this
Yeah.
or like this, you know.
Yeah.
And original, and I don't think anybody in the world have done that until now. So you were the pioneer, you're the first, and I'm like, okay, he's putting this dress, he's all this shiny thing going on, he must be good. And he was, and he is good. He's original, he's charismatic, he's talented, and he's still doing it till now, his thing. You're still doing your thing, right, in the way that you want, the way
Yeah.
you enjoy, right?
Yeah. It's still, and you know what? The biggest convention here that we have in the UK, I still managed to bring the biggest classes as well. And the most important thing as well, we talked about this to the organizer who's been doing it for many years as well. And he said to me one day, just recently, he said to me, everybody else has come and gone, but you are still going, and people still use your class as a rite of passage. They say, oh, you got to
Right,
do Cardi's class. You got to do Cardi's class. You know, so I found that I'm very honored and humbled that people still
yeah,
like what I do, because the formula has evolved, but it's still, the foundation is still the same. The most
right,
important thing is happiness, that people
right,
leave smiling, not confused, smiling. You know, if I actually visualize the ending before I do the class, so I know the
right,
outcome every time. And I've been doing this way before I understood law of attraction, way before I understood how all the mindset thing that I do. I used to picture
right.
the ending of the class with the people clapping, smiling, shining, you know, and every time, no matter what country I went to in the world, it worked 100% of the time.
Right, right, right. That's the formula. Yeah. It's like being yourself. People going, I mean, right now in the fitness, there's a lot of things like even the aero dance, and then, uh,
You've got a lot of
how you
concepts
say,
on at the moment, a lot of concepts where people,
yeah, concepts
yeah,
and a lot of choreography, and it's like crazy.
yeah,
But people going there for the instructor, for the leader, for the energy, for the charisma, for the communication.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the difference here. So people don't, I mean, a lot of people understand that, and you are the guy that is showing that since that time. I mean, when do you start? Let's go from there. When do you start? When is the first time that you went to stage? Which year was that?
1990, 1991. I didn't know what I was doing. It was an
Right.
accident. My whole life was an accident into this fitness presentation world. Our mutual good friend who used to organize the conventions many years ago, I was just starting out. I was going to go to college to study business. And I didn't want to study business. I just wanted to, I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I liked dancing, you know. I used to teach exercise, in the college, and I used to have my lecturers. They used to come to me, or the teachers used to come to me in lunchtime. I was teaching them exercise in lunchtime, and they were teaching me business throughout the day. So it was really strange for a student to teach the teachers, and then the teachers was teaching the student, right? So I did that for a while in college, and then when I was going to go to university, and I didn't go because I was into music at the time, and we had a music single we was working on, and we was going around the country doing the dance house music. We was doing all this kind of personal appearances in nightclubs. So we was doing that, and this is where the concept was born for the class, because I wanted to have something. It wasn't as shiny as it was on the stage, but I wanted to have something that was a bit different. So one of the producers had a sister who was a graphic designer at the time, some kind of artist, some kind of graphic artist. And I remember I had this black top with silver buttons, and she designed a original graphic design of on the front of the, very nice, very bright, and then I had a trilby hat, like a real kind of hat, and then I had shiny black satin trousers, and a shiny silver belt. Now this is what I was using, and then I had this big rain mac that I put on top of me, like before. And I was going in the nightclubs, and I walked into the nightclub, and I stood on the stage, and it was just instrumental house music. And I used to say, and I used to do this rap. Don't call me House Master General or HMC, and keep on jacking to the music over land and sea. And when the people hot for the Chicago sound, they won't believe it when they listen to this groove I found. And I used to go on and on and on and on and on, and do this little rap. And then when I got to the end of the rap, I put my arms up like that. The people were screaming and cheering. Started the music. I took the coat off, and they screamed. Everybody was going crazy. And I was just getting the people in the crowd to everybody say, yo, yo. They were just screaming. And the people I didn't even know what I was doing. I was just chanting, screaming. The music was going. And I was doing that. And afterwards, everybody was right. So, and we went all over the country doing this. Okay.
Wow.
And when that finished, I ended up going to do a little dance class. I was in the local health club. I used to rent the space because I liked that. I used to go in there myself and just dance all by myself. And and then one day, a couple of the girl members were looking in the window. What are you doing in there? Because I was just dancing by myself. And they said, can we come in? Can you teach us something? And I'm like, okay. I didn't know what I was like. It was, once again, this is the accident. Yeah. So anyway, I got them to I said, okay, then just do this step. And they did this move with them. And I put the music on, and we just did this move, and we was grooving, and then they loved it. And then you know, for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then they had to leave. And when I was leaving myself, because I just rent the space to dance, the manager stopped me and she said to me, "Hey, I heard you was doing some dancing. Some of my members were saying how good you was teaching them. I want to invite you to come to my class. You know, I teach a class here. You know, I do aerobics," she said, "and come and join in. You know, I think you'll like it." And I'm like, "Really? Okay." Right. So
Okay.
yeah, I didn't know what I was doing. And I remember now walking into the class on a Thursday night, and I remember it was packed, loads of people. And then I stood at the back and she saw me. There's a lot of people, big studio. She saw me and then she just screamed, "Ah, come here, come here." Now she put me at the front of the class with her. I didn't know what I was going to do. I have no idea. She's like, "Just follow me." She's going. And I'm following this woman, and she was great. She was like an electric doll. She just kept moving, and I'm trying to follow, and you know, we're running, and it's just fitness. So you know, I did that for a little while, and she said, "Come next Thursday. Come on, join my class. You've got such good energy," you know. So I was doing my little Sunday night little class, hiring the hall, and doing all those little things, you know, and I didn't know what I was going to do. I was going to college as well, you know, and studying further education. And then
is this picture connected to you, this one?
Yeah, that was me. But that I had a little bit earlier than that, we had a breakdance group called Elite Four, and we were the champions of champions. Nobody could touch us. We was every time we turned up for a competition. I'll get back to the other story in a minute. But every time we turned up to a competition with these guys, people were scared because they just wanted to go home. Because it was as if they said, "Oh my God, Elite Four's here. We might as well go home now. We know we're not going to win." You know?
They're here, let's go. Oh, they're here again, okay, let's go.
We used to win everything, you know, all the competitions. So, and that was from my breakdancing, body popping days. So I was doing that just before this story that I'm telling you, because you wanted to know more about this, how I got to the fitness side. But before that, I came from doing a lot of the body popping, breakdancing, even the mime. I used to do mime, you know, where you know, it was just, I used to go into shop windows and stand there, and we used to do robotics.
Yeah.
You know, we used to do all this stuff, you know, and people used to find it fascinating. I remember when I was in my teenager years, practicing every day. I had this big mirror in my room, and I used to practice all the time. The dedication, practice, every minute, every chance I got was always trying to become better at doing the popping and locking and breaking and mime and everything. But I didn't know where it was leading me at the time. But you never know, do you? But you when you're passionate about something and you want to be good, and people see you and they go, "Wow, do that again," and you don't realize how good you are until people say, "Hey, do that again," or "Dance for me," or you know. So I had all this background from being self-taught dancing, jazz dancing, self-taught street dancing. You know, I did a little bit of break dancing, but the other members of the team, they were the break dancers, and me and the girl in that team, we were the body poppers. So we had the two styles in the group, and that's why we used to always make people go, "Wow," you know. And it was very, very unique to have a girl in there as well, you know. So I did that, and then that led into the dance side of things. So I met this woman called Pam Robertson. She was the manager of that club, but she wasn't the woman that brought me into the international scene. That story carried me through to get to where I was she wanted me to teach her class. So after I've been visiting her class for I don't know, a few months, she said to me, I want you to take over this class. And I was like, excuse me? I'm not a fitness teacher like that. You are amazing. She said, no, I want you to. It was a big class, very, very popular. I said, I can't do what you do, man. I'm like, you're joking. You're not thinking about somebody else. She said, no. She said, you've got everything. She said, you know, she was the woman that discovered me, but before big screen. She saw what I could do, so she offered me to take this class. I did this. I took her up on it because at this time there was no education. We weren't doing any fitness class, teaching exercise to music education or anything like that. We just like that, you know. So I did it, and that class became the most popular class ever in the history of the club. So it took me to another level. And then they invited me to teach in their other clubs as well. They had about 3 clubs, this chain at the time. So I went and did more, and because she moved to a different area and invited me to come down to the new club she was starting, and it went from there. Now we were teaching. I was teaching, like, you know, these classes, and then this is where it all began. We there was a girl. There was a woman that I was talking to who we both know, Jan Fieldburn, and I heard that she was starting some organization for fitness, and I was interested because I was teaching and I didn't really know what I was doing, and I was interested in what they were doing, you know. So we got talking on the phone. And then I was working with another guy at the time. We were doing 1 or 2 classes in the evenings, you know, a good friend of mine. And then what happened was she said to me, will you come down and do a display for me, like hand weights? She was promoting these hand weights from a sponsor. And she said, if you make up a routine with these hand weights, you can do it. We're coming down because we're doing aerobic championships. And this is that we got a heat that's in your area. Come down. She's never met me, right? She said, come down and do the display. So me and my friend, we put this little routine together where we was doing this routine with hand weights, like that, right? It was rubbish.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. You know, really, honestly, it was so bad, right? But we went on there, we did it, and people were like, yeah, woo, 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 woo. And I'm thinking, really? You like that?
There's something there.
They liked it. So anyway, about a few months later, Jan called me and said, I'm putting together a convention. And I said, what's a convention? I never knew what that was. I didn't know. I have no idea. And it's going to be the first of its kind. And we're going to have people coming from all over the world, she said. And I want you to teach a class. I said, me?
Teach you, was that?
I said, me? She said, yeah. I said, but you've never seen me teach. She said, I know, but I've seen you move. She had so much faith in me. She said, I will never forget those words. But I don't teach. I know, but I've seen you move. That's a lot of faith to put somebody in an international arena just basically doing a hand weights routine. But my friend wasn't invited. I was invited. So obviously she must have seen something. So
yeah.
When I went there, so I just told you the story of the nightclubs going around. So when I went to that thing, I was thinking, right, I think maybe everybody teaches like me, right? In a convention, because the busiest class in this club ever. And I'm thinking the whole world must teach like me. It must. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to wear something different. So I took the outfit from the nightclub with the buttons on.
Oh, that's how it starts.
Yeah. I put that on, and then I put that trilby, the hat on, and I put the shiny trousers on, right? And but no, I didn't wear the shiny trousers. I had shorts made with the shiny buttons on. Okay, so this is where it all started, and then I got my Big Mac, not the McDonald's. I got the big Mac.
It's not sponsoring yet.
No. So then, what I then did is I was walking around in the convention when it was just before my class in this Mac with his hat on, and everybody's looking at me. Who's this guy? Who's this guy?
Who's this guy?
You know? But what I did as well is I wanted it to be a little bit different. So I bought some bongos, and I took lessons from one of the UK's top percussionists. He used to live near me.
Talk about bongos. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So it's so cool. So I took lessons from him, and he was teaching me the basics, but I only wanted to learn one rhythm because I didn't know what I wanted to do. So if I learn one rhythm that I can play alongside my finale music or the music I'm using, it will make the show even better. And maybe other people don't do bongos, I was thinking. And, you know, so I'm trying to
I think you were the first one. You're the first one. I remember that.
For sure. So anyway, I went there, and I remember opening my top up and doing the class, and people were like, "Oh my God, wow, this music." It was like boom, boom, boom. The house music pumping, you know, the energy in the room was incredible. I had people coming in from other places around the convention looking, who is that guy? Who is that guy? Who is that guy? You know?
Yeah.
And nobody had ever seen anything like this before, right?
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
So, and then afterwards, people were coming up to me, the teachers, the people in the class, but more the teachers. Who are you? Where'd you come from? Why don't I know you? Why haven't I seen you before? Oh my God, that was incredible. How do you do that? Why did you do that? And I was like, whoa. I thought everybody thought like this. I thought this was what conventions were about. But no, at that point.
Which year was that, Kardy? Which year was that?
1991.
Wow.
1991. Yeah. So basically, I was just a young kid, and I just literally come out of college, and I was in the convention doing this crazy stuff, you know. And I found as well that before then, that time, I'd never flown before. I'd never been on an airplane, you know, because we never used to have holidays or anything like that. And from that one convention, that's where it all started. I got an invitation to Marseille, south of France, Brazil, Sao Paulo, went to Stockholm, Sweden, went to Italy, Florence, Milan, Vicenza, many places. Then I kept going. Norway, Malta, Germany, Holland. Every weekend I was being booked, going to different countries just from that one convention. It started.
It's crazy, yeah.
Country, they booked me again, another country, then Russia, then New York, then you end up I went to Brazil 7-8 times. You know, it was just really amazing. The life from that one place, that one,
right.
That was the point.
How they start, huh?
Exploded.
And always with the always
my Mac with me, you know, always.
but you know, it's funny how you say, like, you know, I didn't know why, and then it came to me. But think about it, you are in the mirror by yourself training. At the same time that you train the movie, you train your face, you look into yourself, you are learning about yourself.
Yeah.
And then people ask you to go, and you think, I'm not ready, I don't know what to do. But basically ready, because, you know, it's better to be prepared and don't have opportunity than have opportunity and don't be prepared. So I think you were prepared, you were ready, and you even didn't know by yourself, but people could see that you were ready. So it was just like that, boom.
yeah,
You know, I totally understand that.
yeah,
I totally understand that.
yeah.
And original, nobody have that. You know,
Mm.
do you still in your class now? Do you still have? Do you still put the man everything
I have it.
before teach?
I've refined it now. I have extra large trousers that I put on top of the trousers, and then I put the hoodie on top of the top. You know,
Uh-huh.
basically. So when I walk on, I just look like everybody else, and then I start talking to the crowd. You know, in just the normal black trousers and the normal cardi top, hoodie top, and then I say, "Hold on a minute," and then I go into my bag and I pull out my shiny hat, stick it on, and they go, "Ooh," and then I go, then it goes down, and I open up, shiny t-shirt, they ooh, then the trousers go off, shiny trousers, whoa. So yeah,
And people just go like crazy, like
it goes crazy, man. You know, so I have a, you know, but this is just like, I mean, this is the thing that introduced me to a lot of life experience, you know, but you know,
mm,
you end up doing this. I mean, I did this for about 12 years, and then I started to get a bit tired of traveling, you know, because
hmm
obviously it's like a chapter in a book, you know, you want to go on to
right.
chapter, you know. I didn't want to leave the originality of what I did, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to evolve it. Um,
Mm,
I did try in the beginning to teach people what I did, but I realized that they can't do what I do. There was just there's a tiny little spark that
right.
was missing in when you're trying to educate somebody, because people were saying, okay, for example, because I was around before Zumba, and when I remember, I used to teach people my style of classes all over the world, and then one girl that I taught, I was teaching her. She came to my class as a student. Then she got inspired, became a teacher, as many people have done in the past. And then she
Yeah.
did a Zumba course. And then she phoned me up one day and called me and said, "Hey, I've just done this thing called Zumba." She said, "It's Kardy moves to Latin music." He's doing all your moves, but it's just putting Latin music. I said, I knew exactly what to do and how to do it. And I just laughed, you know, and I said, well, you know what? There's only a certain amount of moves in the world, I suppose, but you know, it's just how they do it and how they package it, etc., etc. She was saying, why don't you do your stuff and you know make it a package out of it? And I wasn't really into doing that at the time, you know. But
Right. It's just like the guy was ready, was preparing the moment, and then somebody, you know, the marketing, you know, people just came to him and then put him in the spot, and then the Zumba name came, and then he was a success. It's just like, for example, the same thing, Cardi or K or the way you want to call, you know, in that moment, if some incredible big investor come and say, okay, let's make your name worldwide, you're going to make millions on it, it's going to be the same, because like I said, there's no difference. It's just the
yeah,
movement that people been teaching for a long time, but he was ready in that
yeah,
moment
yeah, you know, and good.
happened for him.
Yeah, happy for him. You know, I love a success story. For me,
Right.
you know, anybody that's successful, I love it. I don't care. It's not about me. It's the energy that the person creates around the success, and if they can touch other people's lives by making
Right.
smile. Because at the end of the day, I told you, my whole thing was, if you leave smiling, my job is done. I
Right.
don't need to make £1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 10 million, 100 million. I don't, because the smile is worth more than any amount of money. Because when you're on your deathbed and you're lying there, you won't say to the people around you, how much money do I have? How much money? That's not what you're going to be thinking of. You're going to be thinking,
That's right.
I made people smile. I can go, you know, and
That's
that,
right. That's right.
you know, so
and,
when,
and, you, and you have so much stuff, you know. I believe that everybody born with talent, and they need to use that talent for something, you know. And I
yeah,
think there's no, I mean, that's what I also wish for to myself, You know, the day that I have to go, I'm going to look around and like, I'm empty. I'm empty. I have nothing else to give.
Mm, mm,
Everything, you know, everything that I have to do, I did. You know,
yes,
I think that's such a wonderful feeling. You're totally right. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
And, you know, the funny thing about you is like, I was just watching it and then I'm sure I'm not wrong about that, but I see, like, for example, some older people, and I feel like they come from, since you start, they're with you. I mean, there's a lot of people that it's like they follow you because it's like you said, it's not only about the move, the exercise, it's about the energy, right?
yes,
And one thing that you have, and I think many instructors, many people need to understand, if you don't have a self-confidence, if you don't train yourself, if
mm,
you don't know what you're doing, you don't have the power to go that close
yeah,
to go that close and give your energy and then make the person feel good, you
yes,
know, because for you to come close to somebody and say like, you're doing good,
yes,
let's move, you need
yes,
to be original, you need to be authentic, you
yes,
know, you
yes,
need to have the self-balance
yes,
enough to
yes,
people to catch your energy, understand what you want to give to them. So
yes,
that's why in your case, you know, you don't go like, let's jump, and then like what people do, this thing is like, you know, people are going like, what he's doing? You're
yeah,
not like that. You're like, come here, look, step there, step
yeah,
here, feel the movement, feel the good. Are you okay? This kind of communication
yeah,
is never going to finish, never going to stop.
mm,
It's
mm,
never going to be old.
no,
Many structures need to be that.
yes,
Try to start to understand that.
yeah,
And that's why you're here. That's why
yeah,
you're here.
yeah, yeah. It is it's a skill that it can be that element can be taught because it's about the energy. It's always about
Right.
it. And I did many interviews with the press and radio and TV about what I do, and I
Hmm.
always reference the energy because
Right.
it can transcend through this nowadays through the screen now, and I know it can transcend through the screen like we are talking here, right?
Yeah.
So why?
Yeah.
Because when you go to the movies and you watch a movie, the movie can make you smile, laugh, cry. The movie can do everything. So what's making you have all those emotions? It's the energy that comes
Right.
from the performance, that comes from the
Yeah.
individual. They give out that, you know, and so that energy can be learned. You can learn to gather it, ball it up, and deliver it. A lot of
That's right.
people actually understand that because they tend to focus when they're doing fitness and movement related fitness, they focus too much on the movement but not the energy.
Right.
And then
Right.
I've seen I've seen some of the world's top teachers in my time where they will have 200 people in the room, you know, but they would leave the energy behind and focus too much on the movement. And what happens is the people cannot connect, so they want to do it but they can't do it, so they sit down,
Right.
watch, and the class gets
Yeah.
smaller, smaller and smaller, you know.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so if you focus more on the energy first, they will and get them, collect them, you will always have the most successful, happy people. And you'll probably end. People used to say to me, how is it that you start off with so many people in your class and I go away and then I come back and there's more people than there was at the beginning? It's because that they can step in at any time. I'm not really
Right.
complicating. I'm into making them smile, bring it in,
Right.
bring it
You're
in.
making the right thing. You're doing the right thing. Yeah.
For sure. That's
Yeah.
the And I got that from the nightclub, obviously, because the people in the nightclub back in the day screaming at them, I had to get everybody screaming, yo, everybody say whoa, because they're not dancers, they're just there in the nightclub, you know.
That's right. That's right.
So
And even now, I mean, even if it's online or some convention, some instructors, some professional are coming, but some people that will just want to enjoy the convention, they
yes,
just want to dance, they also have fun.
yes,
That's you know. I'm gonna tell you one thing that I don't think I have told anybody. Um, Comparing to other people, you know, the instructors or the presenters, uh, You don't believe most of the time that I went to convention, and maybe people are going to say like, what? That's not right. I never prepared my class.
Really? Wow.
Never in my life, never. Even if it was a step class
Wow.
or hip hop or Latin dance or aerobics, never. Cardi, the music, yes, I feel the music, I knew the music. I went to the stage in Blackpool or Israel or whatever over the world,
Yeah.
and I looked to the people, and then I started class. So, and then when sometimes I just turn and say like, okay, what's next? What's next? Think. Okay, let's go. You know, never prepare my class. What happened is that because I never prepared the class, of course you get tired. So in the when you start to get tired, you just go like, scream people, let's go. And then doing that, I breathe, and go. So uh, that's the truth. I never prepare my class. It's in
Wow.
the spot. It's
Wow.
there, and I go according to the energy, according to how they feel. But
Yeah.
the thing that you're saying about communication, to even with the choreography, you make them understand, from the heart, touch here,
Yeah.
and they go there, feel the body, and all these things. When you teach, you always saying, you got it? Okay, feel good, and then go that. This kind of communication is very important. And what's happened now with the different kind of style fashion is the communication right now is that, look,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
personally cannot get that, respect is
Mm.
doing great, but I think this kind of communication, this kind of go closer, talk to them, show the movement, and then say, let's scream, let's say yeah, let's say go. Okay, go one, step down, go up and down. This kind of communication is very important. And also during the time that you try to doing the class, you go around and say, like, you look good today, or what this
Yes.
dress is nice.
Yeah.
Wow, good energy, keep smiling. What
Yeah.
do you think about that? Don't think it's still the main important thing? Like,
Yeah. Did you know what? When I started doing this, obviously, I told you that I started to travel and I'd never flown before. So I was a young guy and then I was going. So I couldn't speak Portuguese. I couldn't speak Italian. I couldn't speak Spanish. So what happened is because I kept going back there, I started to be clever, right? Because I
mm, mm,
because it was all about communication, like you said, for me. So when I'm in the
yeah,
UK and I'm talking to English people in America and Canada and places like that, it's fine. I can do my jokes. I can do my stuff. I can tell them go there, go there. So what I did is a good friend of mine, who I think you might know her as well, Patricia Rezende. Anyway,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Nice guy.
She taught me. She was teaching me Portuguese, so she prepared a list of all the words that I would need to say in the class. So
Yeah,
say to her, I want
yeah.
to say forward, I want to say back, I want to say turn, I want to say "E aí, tudo em cima." I wanted to say, she would literally give me my vocabulary for the class. So I would know exactly what to say. And the moment I started to speak Portuguese, because I could do the non-verbal communication really well,
Yeah,
moment
yeah.
I started, it took me to another level. They were like, Kardy Laguda, you speak in Portuguese. Portuguese. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. So I did exactly the same thing for Italian. I remember driving my car and putting on a little music cassette or CD in the car.
Yeah.
And I remember driving and learning all the numbers, always the numbers first. Numeros are first, and I just do that first, and then I would
Right, right.
then I would learn turn, then I would learn right, then I would learn left, then I would learn up, and I would learn down, bend, lift, scream. All the things that I would do in English, I'd made the vocabulary in many different language. So I had
Nice.
all that. So the communication became so good. I went to Italy so many times. And then somebody one day said to me, I was sitting down next to her, and she said, Kardy, do you realize you are speaking Italian? And I'm like, no, really? And I actually didn't realize. And all because of me visiting the country and learning the foundation, and then
Right.
learning the other words and them speaking to people. before I knew it, I wasn't even aware that I was speaking that, you know, and even when you were speaking in Portuguese just now in the introduction, I understand every word that you were saying as well, because you never forget, because of the energy, the feeling, and the love of the languages. You understand that it's the communication, you know, and when you get that, oh my goodness, you know, everything else becomes easy. You know, you can do the most simplest choreography and make it marvelous, fantastic.
That's right.
You know, and it's powerful. And I wish that more people nowadays would pay attention to that, because I see a lot of classes, and it's very rare that I would tap someone on the shoulder and say, "You are amazing." You know, it's very, and they won't know why, but there's that spark that I recognize when you see the angel within yourself in somebody else. You have to acknowledge it. When you see that little bit of that thing that they don't know they have, and you recognize it because you know you have it too, I acknowledge it.
That's right. Yep.
And it is very rare, but it is within every single person on the planet. They do not need to be a teacher. They do not need to. They can be a road sweeper. They can be anybody. But everybody has that. But they do not let it come to the surface. It's like a cork in the water being held down. If you let go, it will come to the surface. Most people, they don't let go. They just put on the lead belt and then they're down in the water most of their life.
That's right. But the good thing is that it's teachable, you know, and then, like, for example, here with the Happy Dance Sport System, the Happy Business, and you also, you know, it's teachable. So we learn that, and then now we can teach that. So people, I mean, we are here for you guys. And actually, we're going to talk about the 5-minute mindset. We're going to talk about that, okay? And then before I start that, I'm just going to put a video, because we're talking about something very important. Let me put this video. First, with Japanese children. We work with children, with seniors, with everybody. But first, let's put this video. It's in Japanese.
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
So they are saying, like, watashi wa tsuyoi, nandemu dekiru, zettai makenai. Watashi wa tsuyoi, I'm strong, nandemu dekiru, I can do whatever I want. Zettai makenai, I will never be defeated, you know? Yes. And then we're gonna go to the big scale, like in Philippines.
I'm in Philippines Happy Dance Sport System. I'm gonna show you how Philippines is strong, beautiful, the #1, and then hot. With so much love, 3, 2, 1.
Let's do the happy dance, you and me. Let's do the happy dance, you and me. Let's do the happy dance, you and me.
That's exactly what you're talking about, you know, to have this smile face, you know,
Yeah.
the power of the mindset, you know, because
Yeah.
we talking before, and then, I mean, I have the same way, I mean, same thinking, you know, that you have in the way to influence just
Yeah.
with the repetition. And I want you to talk about something first, about this beautiful, I mean, father thing, you know, father thing, how you are. I mean, I want people to know about your father side, but what you do to your daughter about mindset. Let's talk about that.
Okay, so from a very early age, Lola, um, I know about this particular type of um, this energy. So, and I know that from the ages of 0 to the ages of 7, children learn. They learn differently. They learn by osmosis. They learn by sucking in the energy from around them. It's not what
Right.
you say. It's not what you how you tell them to do certain things. It's by the energy that's around them consistently. That's why you can have a child learn 5 or 6 languages before the age of 7 if you
That's
want
right.
to teach them that, because they do not learn by repetition. You know, the brain is wired in such a way so that they actually take the environment, and then from the environment it becomes their foundation for the rest of their life as a human being in that particular body. It's
That's true.
it's been proven.
That's true.
Yeah.
My daughter is 5 years old. She speak very good German,
Mm.
very good English,
Mm.
very good Japanese. Her Portuguese can be better, you
Yeah.
know, but you're right. It's just 5. Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
keep going. Yeah.
Yeah. So if they have that ability, and the education system doesn't make use of that, they just teach them things that are not going to help them and make them into a better person when they become,
Right.
you know, a teenager later on in their life, then this is the reason why a lot of the systems are falling apart, and that you're getting a lot of children that are going off the rails because nobody is making use of that fantastic part of their life so that they can actually do something they really love doing or they're passionate about
Yep.
from the age,
Yeah.
rather than box them into a little box that says you have to learn this, learn this, learn this. So they're spending the formative years of their life learning things they're not necessarily interested in. So when you put them in the school, they will not talk. They will talk a lot. They won't listen to the teacher. It's just a very old way of teaching.
Yeah.
Human beings evolve generation after generation, and you're still teaching people the same way that you taught them 100 to 300 years ago. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Totally agree. Yeah.
It's like having the next computer operating system. You're not using Windows 6 or Mac OS 5. You're literally moving on now. You're on to the next operating system, but you're still trying
Right.
to tell them to learn Windows 6, Mac OS 5. Do you know? No, I'm sorry. That's why these people are like, I don't want to do this class. No, I don't like you as a teacher. It's because they've come forward with a new operating system, but you're telling them,
Right.
no, stop, go back to the old way, right? And
It's
so,
funny. It's funny what you say, because right now, yeah, I was because I work some athletes. They come to the school and they're doing the same thing. Like 2 weeks before they start to study to get a B minus whatever, right?
mm, mm,
And then after they just forgot about what they learned because they didn't learn. They just like memorize,
yes,
and then they go to the exam and
yes,
they make the exam, and then they got the level, then but in the end they don't learn anything. It's still going on right now. It's crazy.
yeah, for sure. Because school is a memory test to a lot of people, and a lot of people don't like. I didn't like memorizing things I don't
Me
like.
too, me too, me
Why?
too.
You know, but you put me in an environment where I will excel. And I remember going to the gym at 5 o'clock every morning for years just to learn my choreography, just to learn my simple choreography and the way I'm going to deliver all these things around the world. 7 days a week, 5:30 in the morning, I would go to the gymnasium. The caretaker would open the door just for me, and I would go in there and just practice for 20, 30 minutes. But I would do it every day. So when you're passionate about something.
How old you there?
Sorry? How old was I?
How old you there when
was
you went to 5?
19, 20.
My God, my God. I mean, it's incredible. In this age doing that,
yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, it was because when you're passionate about something, and you will never work a day in your life. You know this because
That's right.
Your passion, you know.
Yeah.
So I decided that knowing what I know about how the human brain works and how the human body works, based on the education and the experience, I know how to get the best out of any human being. So I decided to create a system, you know, where you can start to make the individual more powerful than they could possibly ever know, based on them using the tools that they have. The body is a amazing biotechnology computer processing machine, but we don't treat it like that. We treat it the people that teach people don't understand the power. They don't understand the power of how you learn, how you can create, because this is the thing. Every single thing around you is your creation. It's like a hologram. You know, you created it, but people are so asleep, they don't realize they're actually creating every single thing they have in their life. So if you want misery, you did it. If you want happiness, you did it. You know,
that's right.
There isn't anybody you can't blame anybody for your life because you did it.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
But
you just start to grow when you start to take 100% of responsibility of your life.
Yeah. But
100% responsibility.
That's correct. But people don't understand that how they create. They don't understand there's a process. So this is what I taught Lola. I taught her there's a process. First, there's a thought. Then there's a thought form. Then there's the relationship with the thought form, which creates the manifestation. But there's a time delay. You can't just do something and then end up there. You have to literally create it, kind of like molding clay. You know, clay, and you do it little by little. But your fun doesn't come from the end product. So when you have the manifestation, when you have the finished product, that's not the fun. The fun is in the doing, the work.
The
creating. Because once you've done it, it's done. The job's done. Now what? We want to do it again, create something different. So people, people do not teach kids this on mass. And I know they teach this kind of thing to people who are in Buddhist temples in Tibet and places like that, very spiritualist places. They teach them a form of this type of creation. You know, they teach people how to breathe. They teach people how to think, because you can tell a lot of people do not know how to think for themselves. Common sense gone is temporarily being gone, but it's being forced back into the world because of the pandemic, scamdemic, whatever you want to call it. You know, it's being forced back. It's like somebody's got a syringe and they're forcing the common sense into people, you know, to wake up, be aware. But because of the programming, because of the way we've been educated, a lot of people are not getting it yet. And it's like, come on, please, just get it. You know, it's taking a lot longer. It is getting faster, but it's getting taking a lot longer than what people that know what's going on. We want it to happen a lot faster because we can see what is really going on. We're in a different level of awareness, and this is the thing.
Yeah, that's right.
So Lola's 14 now, and she is so aware. I call her, my little Buddha, because she now teaches me, as I told you earlier, that when the student becomes the master's job is done. And
The master job is done.
yeah, as far as her being able to think for herself, she has a level of awareness which is a hell of a lot more higher than some of the adults that are around her. In fact, a lot of the adults that are around her do not understand. I created a system called the bubble. So with this mindset system, and I'm writing a book about this whole thing that I'm telling you at the moment. The book should come out
Nice.
soon. You know, we're still working. I'm working on it with a friend of mine. She's a professional writer and editor. And the bubble. This is how I did it with Lola. I created a system, and I said, "This is the bubble. When you want something, you put it in the bubble, right? And then you just be happy, chill out, relax, and what you put in the bubble will find you because you'll be on the same wavelength, the same frequency, right? Everything goes in the bubble. Daddy, when she was little, Daddy, I want a doll. Can I have that doll? I want an iPhone. I want this. I want that. I don't say no. I never say no because it's the programming, shortage consciousness. When you say no, shortage consciousness, I say, put it in the bubble. Just put it in the bubble. And then she'll go, okay. And then she'll just do that. So now she feels good because she knows that whenever she puts something in the bubble, it's going to manifest at some point. We don't know how it's going to manifest, where it's going to come from.
Right.
It could be a gift from grandma. It could be gift certificates. It could be birthday presents, Christmas presents. It could be whatever, you know, if you put something in there but you don't have to put material things in there. You can put friends, emotions, you know, job, you know, winning the school race, winning whatever, having more friends, whatever. You can put it in there. So this is just it's a holding place, which is the beginning of the thing that you want. Everything has to go through the bubble. And this is how the human being creates. It creates by creating that place, you know, before it comes to reality. Now, a lot of people don't think this is true, but I'm telling you, when you created something bad, guess what? You put it in your bubble and then it manifested. That's how it works. I don't care what anybody says. You may be able to describe it differently. You may have a different approach, but the essence of it is you thought it, it becomes, it goes into that place. And then at some point, it will manifest.
Right.
So I taught her this. So how do we navigate it? How do we know it's going in the right direction? This is where your emotions come in, your feeling. So if you feel good, you know you're on track because it's the sat nav. It's the thing that says, yep, that's the right way to go. When something feels bad, you tend to think that it's going in the wrong direction because you get the gut feeling, intuition, women's intuition, men's intuition, right? Women are good at this, you know. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. Then don't do it or don't go there. You know, too many people say, "Oh, I don't really want to go there," but I went anyway. Why did you go if you didn't feel right? Because it means you're taking it from the bubble. Yeah. And I know everybody can relate to this on the planet. Everybody, you know, where you want to go out. A friend tells you want to go out or something like that, and you don't want to go, but you go anyway. And then you have a most miserable time, or something goes wrong, or you lose your credit cards, you lose your bag, your purse, your shoe, you know, you fall over, you get drunk, whatever. It just doesn't work out the way you wanted it to work out. That's because your gut was telling you to not do it, but you went against it. So you get what you think about, whether you like it or not. You get what you think about. You know.
And so there's a very famous phrase that you are what you think about it, right? You are what you think about it.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah, 100% all the time.
And then you work with your daughter the whole time about that. This is the process that you do with her.
The process went from, it became like a game. So we're driving somewhere in the car, you know, and she'd be very small, and I look at her and I'll say, "What's the most important thing in the world?" And then after a while, she'd be able to say, she's automatically says, I am. And I said,
Wow.
hey.
That's
Yeah,
right. That's right.
yeah, you know. And I say, and I'll say, you know, what's the most powerful thing in the world? And she'll say, my thoughts. And I'll be like, yeah. Yeah. How do you know it's a good thought? She said, with my feelings. And she said, with my sat nav, she used to say. And she used to say,
Hmm.
my sat nav. And I'll be like, yeah. And I said, when something feels good, what do you do? She said, I do more of it. And I'm like, yeah. When something feels bad, what do you do? I don't do it. I do less of it. So this was the conversation every so often we had for years. And I will just randomly fire these questions until it became part of her. You know, and I can ask her that now
Nice.
today, and she will always answer the same way. There's no hesitation. What's the most important thing in the world? I am. Do you know what I mean? And
It's a kind of people. I mean, we can say brainwash, but it's a
yeah,
positive brainwash
yeah,
because as a parent, right, as a father, you have the obligation to
mm,
prepare. I mean, you cannot prepare the word for them, but to give the tools, right? To
yes,
give the tools for them because after it's up to them. When they're by themselves, we don't know what they're gonna do, but we did our part. Yeah, it's a good brainwash. I totally agree with that. I do
yeah,
the same here. I totally agree.
yeah,
Well
yeah,
done.
yeah. Because you know now she can go out and create whatever she wants. You know,
Right.
and
Right.
she doesn't need me to hold her hand and to feed her money and all that because she's the creator. You know, when you become the fisherman, you can go and get as many fish as you want. You don't need to be sitting there by the fisherman giving him money and say, give me the fish. You know, you
Right.
can become the person that goes to get your fish whenever you want it, you know,
That's
and
right.
it's the key. So basically the mindset, the 5-minute mindset that I created was born out of the success of seeing how powerful the mindset is for,
Mm,
for creating, because I was training people, like personal training people, and realizing that I wasn't happy with their success because they weren't listening to me. And they weren't listening to me because it's not about their body and doing 50 push-ups and trying to lose weight really quickly and get strong,
yeah,
get flexible. They didn't get this. And because their mindset didn't work, the body would never follow. Then I
that's
realized
right. That's
everybody
right.
was doing it backwards, you know, for a long time. So I sacked all my clients, you know, and then I started to qualify people as to how they would train. So if I'm going to train someone now, you need to qualify.
Mm,
Otherwise, you can go somewhere else. Do you know what I mean?
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. I
So,
agree.
and if you don't qualify, you need to go away and get ready to be ready. Get ready to be ready, because when you come to me, you will get the most amazing results. But it comes like a triangle. On the top of the triangle, you've got to have your mindset. On
Yeah.
the side of the triangle, you've got your nutrition or your food. On the other side of the triangle, you've got your movement or your fitness or your activity. When you
Right.
marry those three together, okay, with the mindset being on the top, you will succeed in everything, because this runs down each side and equally distributes on the triangle, right? Now, you can
Mm-hmm.
do the nutrition on its own, don't get me wrong, okay? But
Yeah.
nutrition without the mindset, that's not going to get you very far, because you will always go back to unhealthy eating, right? You can do the exercise on their own. That's fine. But when you're not enjoying it because your mindset isn't right, you'll
Yeah.
stop doing it at some point. And then
Yeah.
it falls apart. So the triangle falls
That's
apart.
right.
So basically, I created the mindset, food, and fitness with the programs that I do, you know, and it works 100% of the time, all the time. I can give you people that would tell you their body was broken, where they could not even move, you know, do daily things like reach above their head or pick up stuff off the floor. And
Yeah.
now they will be doing CrossFit and all kinds of crazy exercise marathons, and do you know what I mean? Because when you have the fusion of the three elements, anything you do will come to you. And then you put that, because the mindset is based on the bubble theory of creating a creator, you cannot lose. You've got to do the work on that level, but nobody teaches the level of the mindset. Don't get me wrong. Nowadays, they're doing it a lot. I've seen it. I've been doing it for a long time. But now a lot of people are talking mindset. You know, it's not motivation, because motivation comes from the outside in.
Outside, yeah.
And that's temporary. This is more about inspiration from the inside out. So you do things from the inside which inspire you to take action. When you have an inspired thought, you take inspired action, you will get 1,000 times more power, because it's like a furnace that burns inside and comes out constantly, not going to a motivational talk, and then for 5 days you feel good, and then on the 6th day you just feel like you want to go hang yourself.
That's right. That's right. And that works for everything for exercise, or for diet, or even for yourself. You're right. The motivation thing is a good thing, but if you don't work yourself every day from inside, it's not going to change. It's not going to change. And it's a big mistake. I mean, it's open eyes for a lot of people. They're going to go, I'm going to do this class, I'm going to do this. And then, no, don't do this. Work yourself first.
Yes.
Work inside, because if you don't do it, it's not going to happen. You're 100% right. Actually, that's what we also work here. You know, for example, some people want to be a happy dance instructor. I'm like, it's not that easy. It's not that easy. You need to go to books. You need to change the paradigm. You know, you need to change your mindset, because if you don't, you cannot be a happy dance instructor, because I want you to be charismatic, to be yourself, to change people's life, to really make a difference. And if you don't train, and if you don't change your inside, doesn't matter how much talent you are, charismatic dance, it's not gonna change. Right? And that's what happened right now in the fitness industry. You know, come to my class, do it, and people enjoy, but then come to house miserable. Okay, now I can't wait to go to the class, because I'm going to feel good again.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Here I'm miserable, so I need the class to make me feel good. I go there again and then come back. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You know? It's like, well, I'm not losing weight. I'm working so hard not to lose weight, because you're not doing yourself. You know? You are getting this external energy and using that moment, but you're not doing yourself.
This 100% true. And I always say to people, your oxygen comes from within you. You don't need somebody else to breathe for you.
Right. Oh, that's great. That's good. So you don't need somebody else to breathe for you.
Because when I coach people on many different levels. So obviously a lot of people with relationship problems, and you know, it's a very common thing when they're with people in a relationship. They tend to lose themselves in the relationship, and as a result, the partner who's more demanding will do the breathing, and the other person will become suffocated, because after a period of time, because it's unsustainable. If you use the analogy of the breathing, when, like I said, you have somebody else breathing for you, that is never ever going to work, unfortunately. You know, you need to be able to breathe on your own, both of you, and then when you come together, you have this fresh air. You know, not this person doing all the, I can't live without him or her. I can't live. That's just ridiculous, because it means that somebody else is breathing for you. And you would never do that from a physiological standpoint. You would never, ever carry for all your life breathing apparatus around with you. You don't need it. But figuratively speaking, that's what you're doing when you rely on somebody else to be that part of you which you need to be for yourself. And this happens a lot in people's relationships, and why people's relationships actually tend to fall apart over time because they forget the point in which they met. At the point they met, they were both breathing on their own when they meet. So what happens as they get together and they start living together and doing stuff together, there becomes an imbalance where somebody's doing more breathing than the other. So therefore, you're now not the same people that you met, that you were attracted to when you met. You've changed. There's an imbalance. So when you have that imbalance, what's going to happen? Unless you rebalance, you will always go apart and drift apart, and it will never ever work. And that's why nobody ever teaches people this. See, this is the thing that I say to many people when you're at school. They should teach you the harmony behind the relationship, the energy, the emotion, the full the emotion that marry up together is the essence of creation, together with frequency and vibration. When you understand elements that nobody really used to talk about, they're talking about it now more than ever, but nobody's talking about it, you know. But when you marry all those elements together, you can create incredible stuff. And this is what we're coming into right now. This is why people are being injected into the new paradigm, you know, when they are being shaken to say, wake up, wake up. And
wake up.
Still sleeping. Wake up, still sleeping. You know, when you get that, when you do finally get there, it's amazing because you see everything for what it truly is, not just this three-dimensional kind of energy that we've been living that doesn't serve everybody. In fact, it doesn't serve anybody. You know, that's
true.
We need to go further now. It's not about the money. It's about the energy. It's about the people. It's about human beings. It's about the environment. It's about your. It's about connecting with people. It's about treating people like they are you. That is it. Treated in a certain way. So when you go up to somebody and they treat you the way you would like to be treated, you'll have instant attraction, you know? And you use your
That's how it is.
You use your gut to guide you. If you like this person, you more. If you don't like this person, thank you for the experience. And then you're off again.
That's right. That's right. Let's just give you 1 minute here for and sponsor come back. Okay, just a moment.
Yeah, for sure.
Happy dance for all the world. Happy dance, dance, hey oh. Happy dance, dance, hey oh.
Yes, we're promoting the Happy House Challenge International. You guys, if you're gonna come to the gold medal, you know, win the gold medal Happy House International, just go to their website and then contact us because it's getting like wonderful. I mean, at the time that people are complaining about, you know, stay home, we'll make a competition that you can compete at home. So it's a nice thing, I think. It's Happy House Challenge for everybody. Kardy, one thing that you talk about, you know, about energy, about what you are, like, for example, when you put your dress, your, you know, outfit shiny, because that's what you are, that's how you feel about yourself, and you want just to shine, you know, to keep shining to everybody, you know. One thing that I have, because I love gold color, but I love the message that gold gives about be rich, you know, rich as a person, physically, or, you know, in the mind and everything. So every time that I go into work, doesn't matter where, like with workshop or choreography or seminar, look, my shoes. That's my shoes. I got like a lot of that, you know. And if people want to give me a present, a shoes, give me a gold collar. You know, it's like something to remember me. What's my mission? You know, is to reach the gold. the goal of your life. This, I think, is a very important thing. And I mean, to hear what you say, and to have like basically the same idea, same way to think, it's so wonderful because you are one of the person that are changing life. You are one of the person not only about the class, the teaching, but about the whole experience that you got in your life to give to your daughter, to give to people, to do consulting, all these things. It's start that day that you went to the mirror and do the thing and you didn't know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
And that's what you are right now. Because of that, our company, with international support, more than 20 countries, we're going to give you the certification, with achievement, recognition of your outstanding work, professionalism in the dance, music, and fitness industry by inspiring people to make education, lifestyle choices, and to become active and healthy. It's just a pleasure for us to give you the simple certificate of achievement. And it's written here in the side, 私は強い。何でもできる。絶対負けない。私は強い。何でもできる。絶対負けない。Signed for the happy dance director too. And that means 私は強い. I'm strong. 何でもできる. I can do everything I want. 絶対負けない. I will never be defeated. And you are like that. And you're like that. Congratulations, man, for your life. Congratulations for everything that's been done until now. It's a pleasure to see you again, to be in touch with you again. I hope we can do like a business together or just to share, our energy together because I respect you. I know from Blackpool. Actually, let me tell you one thing. Look how things are. Well, I come from a very poor family and I have this feeling like I need to change. That's not my reality. Maybe it's my parents' reality, but it's not my reality. I need to change. And then I went to the world and tried, made mistakes and trying, but believing that my life will change.
Yeah.
Always believe in my goal. And then, because of the work, you start to be invited for things. And I was invited to Blackpool, right, from Jan. And then in Blackpool, it's changing my life. A lot of things happened. And then big group from Israel. I know you remember Nissim, Tammy, right? They invite me to go to Israel, and I start to go every year to Israel, for the convention. And guess what? I met the love of my life. I met my wife. The person that I live right now was living there in Israel. Wow. And she was actually have an Israeli boyfriend. So, and we met, and then she's here now. We are happy. I don't know how things are, but I really believe because was the feeling that I just want to be happy. I don't want so much. I just want to be happy. Just the feeling and the training, the practicing to be happy every day, to believe, to say thank you, power of the gratitude, to say, today is going to be a wonderful day. Look in the mirror and say, like, I'm strong. I can do it. I'm the best. I'm beautiful. I'm wonderful. I'm Paulo. Nobody's like me. This kind of thing. It's not a show off thing. It's just a thing that you have to do to yourself. I really believe on that. Sure. And you, man, you are you are that person. You are this guy, and I'm really happy to have you here. So we're going like to the end of the interview. So I just want you to give like your last message, message, and to keep inspiring people. Yeah. It's in your hands right now.
Perfect. That was fantastic, man. I really appreciate that, and thank you for the certificate. That's really nice.
It's a simple thing.
Yeah. No, I really do appreciate it, and and the work you're doing is fantastic because you're through your show, you're inspiring other people and you're knocking on the doors of people's ability to grow. Because people need to actually reach the next level. Human beings are seekers. We are constantly searching. That's why we always feel like we want to do more. And I think that when you are not in that place where you are aware that you are greater than you are, when you're not, you need a nudge sometimes, someone to say something, and you have to listen. If one person has been inspired to do something different, tomorrow, you know, just by our conversation today, then our job is amazing.
It's done.
Yeah, it's amazing. It will take us and them to the next level, because people's lives are not we're not graded on how much we make. We're graded on how many lives we touch. That's
Right.
how it works. When I know quite a few millionaires who agree with that as well. Once they've made all their money, they say, how can I help? How can I change? Some people have to get there first before they do it, but some people don't realize that you can do it without the money. You don't necessarily need,
Right.
you know,
Right.
and while you're on your journey, if that is your goal or your desire, and while you're on your journey to that, it will become easier to you by how many people you've helped, more so than how many products you've sold. That is the true reality, and that's what's going to happen now over the next year. Watch closely what happens in the world. Everybody that's listening to this, understand this. Within the next 12 months, we are going to shift. In fact, it's going to be a lot sooner than that. And the whole humanitarian part of the human psyche and human being, you know, not a human doing, a being, it's all going to shift, where we are going to be helping people. We're going to be going into a golden age of something miraculous. And it's started to happen. The taps have been turned on. The water is now full. The question is, when are you going to get wet? Because the tap is turned on, you know, and you know, a lot of people are standing there with umbrellas and moving out of the way and wearing wetsuits, and they don't want to get wet. The moment you get wet with this sea of change, I guarantee you will see something that would. People are already seeing it, but I reckon probably this Christmas, by the end of this year, the change would have been in motion so far. A lot of the people,
I agree. Yeah.
A lot of the people that are doing that at the moment, you will be like doing this. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! And that's the message that I would like to leave on. You know, the fact that there is a wind of change, unlike any wind that has ever happened in the whole of humanity. It is the greatest transformation of energy and spirit and positivity and wealth and health and technology. It's all coming now. The tap has been turned on. Everybody get wet.
Everybody get wet. That's great. That's great. Thank you so much, Kardy. Thank you so much. Keep being yourself. Thank you to be here. You're my brother, you know, and let's keep in this journey, because it's beautiful. It's beautiful. You as a father, you know, as a professional, as an entrepreneur, I mean, keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much to be in the Championstalk, and then have a good night. What time is there now already?
11:30. Yeah, it's a little late, but it's fine.
Thank you, man. And then, well, we're gonna keep in touch, because there's a lot of things that we can do together, I'm sure. So,
For sure.
thanks so much. And then, I'm just gonna put that energy, that point here. Don't forget to get 5 minutes mindset to him.
Yeah.
And then find your gold, find your shine, find your right dress to, you know, to get close to people. Get a crowd, and they say like to people, come on guys, just be happy, dance and move, feel the movement, feel the music, because that's Kardy Laguda. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful night.
Yeah,
we are here together.
Yeah. See you soon. Take care.
Okay. Thank you. Bye, bro. And that's it. We went to the end of the one more Championstalk show international with this wonderful guy. I mean, he's the best. He's the best. He's the best doing he loves. That's the very good example. It's on Facebook and YouTube, so you can share. You know, you can share it now. You can share tomorrow. It's going to be there. I think it's important to share this message. It was a very good talk, and you're going to learn a lot for that. Thank you so much, guys. Changing to Portuguese. There's a big news coming on, a big news. I'm just going to put the video from Valdir Soares, the president of Fitness Brazil, so I'm going to change Português. Gente, Valdir Soares com uma mensagem maravilhosa, uma mensagem importantíssima. Uma mudança muito grande, uma grande novidade. Aqui eu vou colocar o vídeo dele, a mensagem do grande Valdir Soares.
Olá pessoal, aqui Valdir Soares. Na próxima sexta-feira, anote aí, dia 28, meio-dia e meia, nós vamos ter a primeira Masterclass com o professor Mauro Ghisellini, a primeira Masterclass da Wellness Brasil. É o meu mais novo projeto que trago para o nosso mercado. É importante que você assista e possa entender qual é o propósito dessa nova empresa que nós estamos trazendo. A Wellness Brasil veio para revolucionar a sua vida de professor, a sua vida como gestor, visando um atendimento 360 graus para todos os nossos clientes na ponta. De novo, sexta-feira, meio-dia e meio, dia 28, eu e o professor Mauro Ghisellini estaremos dando start na revolução do bem-estar. Conto com você.
Haha, muita novidade aí, muita novidade. Maiores informações, entre em contato com o Valdir Soares. Muita coisa boa acontecendo. Wellness, revolução do bem-estar com o Valdir Soares. Obrigado, gente. Boa noite, good night, good morning, ohayou gozaimasu. Genki de ichinichi de gambate kudasai. Que tenha boa noite. Um grande abraço. Tchau.